Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Babcock, and I wanted to make a really quick video for my students at Moody on what is proper Turabian footnoting and bibliography. And I was going to hit a couple other points as we go through, and I'm using a recent paper by a student in Systematic Theology 5534 on their assignment 1-2 Theology and Spiritual Life. Now, the first thing that you need as you're looking at Turabian formatting is you need a cover page. You should have the name of the assignment on the top of that page, student name, course name, date down at the bottom. So in page 0 of your paper should be a title page. Second thing, and something that is often missed, is as you look at the title of the paper on page 1, and by the way, in Turabian, I don't grade off for this, but in Turabian, your page number should be in the upper right-hand corner. So on page 1, as you start the paper, there should be a title, and that title should be in upper lowercase and should be bold. Next, you move into your paper. One of the things that students have missed lately is the first time that you mention a scholar in the paper, you should include both their first and last name. So instead of Erickson finds that theology, it should be Millard Erickson finds. And then as you move through the paper, you should only use Erickson. So the first time you mention a scholar, first and last name. From then on, last name only. Now, as we look at, bring this a little larger, as we go down to each of our footnotes. So here we have footnote 1, and it's from Christian Theology by Erickson. Now, in a Turabian footnote, the first name of the author goes first. It's Millard J. Erickson, not Erickson, Millard J. That's a bibliography. In a footnote, it's first name first, Millard J. Erickson. Second component, I'll make this even larger to see. If you'll notice, there is a comma, not a period, after the name. So it's Millard J. Erickson, comma, the title of the book, Christian Theology. Now, if there is a subtitle, there should be colon and then subtitle. That is not all caps. It is not underlined, although it can be underlined, but it's supposed to be upper lowercase, Christian Theology, and in italics. After the title of the book or article is a comma. Now here, this is the third edition, so you put third edition, and then parenthesis, the place of publishing, Grand Rapids, Michigan, colon, the name of the publisher. It's Baker Academic in this case. You should not have press or publication after it. It's just the name of the publisher. So it's not Erdman's Publishing, but Erdman's. And then comma, 2013, the year, close parentheses, and then another comma, and then the pages. Here, pages 14-15. Don't forget your period at the end. Now, one of the challenges is often people put page or PGS. That is incorrect in Turabian. It should just be comma, and then your page numbers, and then close with a period. So that's Erickson. So you've done your first citation. A couple sentences later, they add Anthony C. Thistleton, Systematic Theology, parenthesis. Again, there is, between Systematic Theology, the title, and the place of publication, there's no period, there's no comma, it's just a space. Parentheses, Grand Rapids, Michigan, Erdman's 2015, close parentheses, comma, page 11. Now, normally you would just put a period after that, but here the person saw this on EBSCO, which is a host site, so they pulled this book down online, accessed August 16th, 2018 ebook collection EBSCO host. All right, so now in note 3, they use Wayne Grudem, Systematic Theology. That one has a subtitle, An Introduction to Biblical Doctrine. Notice no comma, no period, just doctrine, space, parenthesis, Grand Rapids, Michigan. You'll notice that there are a lot of publishing houses out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. This one is Zondervan, 2004, comma, page 23, period. Now here is where, I'll come back to that. Here is where it gets, we just have a lot of people not understanding. For quote 3, it came from Wayne Grudem's Systematic Theology. As we move to quote 4, or citation 4, it is from the exact same text. May or may not be from the same page, but it's from Grudem. So 3 and 4, both side by side, same text. You don't put Wayne Grudem. You don't put a short form of systematic theology. What you put is IBID, capital I-B-I-D, period. IBID is an abbreviation, so it has a period after it. If you just write IBID, it says go back to the previous citation. I used the exact same page, the exact same citation. So once you've done this, you never have to do the long form again. If it's right after it, you just put IBID. Now that was page 23. Let's say that instead it was page 26. Then you would go IBID period, comma, space 26 period. So that says I'm using the exact same reference I just used, only it's a different page number. So use IBID if you have an uninterrupted stream of citations. 2 or 3 and 4 are from the same source. Now we go to quote 5. They used another outside research. This one they also got from EBSCO host, and it's Craig Bartholomew and Matthew Emerson's article on theological interpretation for all of life. Now here is a little bit different, and the intent of this is really to be basic, but I will jump into an article inside of a book, which is what we have here. The book is written by Bartholomew and Emerson. The chapter is Theological Interpretation for All of Life. It is in the book title, A Manifesto for Theological Interpretation, edited by Bartholomew and Emerson, by Baker Academic in 2016, and then here is their page. I typically don't, if you miss this part up, I don't normally count off, but I want to see you try. Now, let's go back. We had citation 3 was Grudem. Citation 4 was Grudem. Citation 5 is Bartholomew. But citation 6 goes all the way back and uses the same source here, Thistleton. So how do you do that? Do you do Thistleton all over again? Do you do IBID? And the answer is neither. You do a short form, because we've already done Thistleton once, so you just say Thistleton, and if I don't know who that is, I go to the prior note or to your bibliography, comma, page number, period. Same way, 7 is Grudem again, so you do Grudem, comma, 32, comma, 33, period, or the old version of Turabian that you may have learned in high school is Grudem, Systematic Theology, comma, 32, comma, 35. Either of these two is fine. The modern version of Turabian uses this, author's last name only, and page number, but you can give me author, short form title, and page number. So note 8, they use Roark, biblical theology, and then note 9, they're also referring to Roark, so they use Ibid, I-B-I-D, period, comma, 17, period. So I hope that helps. There are 3 different types of Turabian footnote. The first is a full version, and a full version looks like this. First name of the author, last name of the author, title, publishing material in quotations, comma, page numbers without P or PG or anything else, 14-15. The second type is when two footnotes are in sequential order, and in that case you use Ibid, which is IBID period, comma, page number, period. And the third type is short form. If you can master those 3 types, then your footnotes will be much cleaner in Turabian formatting. Of course, Turabian has lots of other little pieces, and I encourage you to spend some time learning Turabian for all of its forms. Something else that I have found in papers, Bible is often not being capitalized. Bible is always capitalized. Scripture is always capitalized. I will catch those and count off more and more and more through the semester until I beat it into everyone's brain that Bible and Scripture are capitalized. All right, so let's go down then to the bibliography. All subtitles in Turabian are upper lowercase and then bold. So bibliography should be centered and then it should be bold. The highlighting here is just to make sure that I discuss it. Then, different than a footnote in a bibliography, and let's go down to Erickson here, it's Erickson, comma, Millard J instead of Millard J. Erickson in the footnote. So it's last name first, alphabetically sorted, with a period at the end. Now, it's easy to see that here, in this version, David K., there's a period just because it's an initial, but it should be Millard J. period, and here we have Emerson period, and then we go to the title, Christian Theology, period, 3rd edition, period, no parentheses now, Grand Rapids, Michigan, Baker Academic, comma, 2013. Don't forget your period at the end of your bibliography. So, last name first in the bibliography, periods after each important section, and then a period at the end. This was an excellent paper, and that's why I chose it as an example. But please take time to do Turabian correctly. It's not just about school, which hopefully is important enough, but if you ever write a journal article about your church or about your counseling or about anything else, you're going to need to be able to write and express your footnotes in a logical manner, and most publications use a form very similar to Turabian. When I publish, we use SBL or Chicago Manual Style, but they're very similar to this, and so learning Turabian will help you not only now, but as you move forward in academics. Have a great day. Thanks for your attention.